Alright, good morning folks. It's been a few days since my last post. I didn't want to bore you guys with the entirety of having to, weld, fit, grind, weld, and, kind of makes for boring content. All to say, basically spent a couple hours each day after work this last week. Just basically cutting, like I said, cutting, grinding, welding, and then fitting, and then ended up, just working through the clearances I needed for the exhaust to not hit anything and then stay far enough away so that it wasn't melting any of the plastic pieces or touching anything. And then, and I'll get through some of this here in a second, but I hard mounted the turbos to the chassis, mainly because how far away from the motor that they are, and that's really the only place I could get them to fit. But then I was kind of worried that even having them hard mounted with a flex pipe, there was still going to be a vibration issue, maybe even transferred through the bellows. So I went back and forth with a couple designs, and that took a minute, and I didn't want to go through that whole explanation, and allowed me to, like, I don't know, kind of play around a little bit without boring you with all the details. So let me show you what I ended up doing. So here's the hopefully you can see that in the light. Let me get a better light. Stand by. Okay, so this should work a little bit better. So here's the Cerakoted pipe, and I still may wrap a little bit of this. Haven't decided yet. But there's the bellows. What I add, I'm still hard mounted right here, but this piece of the chassis is pretty flexible, as well as the this piece of steel that's up here is really not super tight against, or let's say super tight. It's tight, but the metal itself is thin enough that it moves. So, and then what I ended up doing here is I've got a half of a pipe that I cut. There's a piece of header wrap in between to help not transfer any of the heat. And then I've got sway arm bushings on the chassis. So all to say, when you get up to the turbo, it does flex, which I think will do a lot to help the life expectancy of all the welds and stuff. So anyway, hopefully you can see all the way back here. I've got the driver's side all done, and it can move around, and there's no issue. I've got it wrapped. I've got it wrapped all the way down to the first union, and that first union, hopefully you can see it in the video. Let's see, is right there, and I've got another pipe right here that I'm going to build off from, and we'll probably wrap this guy. So I've got, and then I've already done this side as well. The pipe's all Cerakoted. Again, I've got the bushings, urethane bushings all in. Waiting on some T-bolt clamps. Again, the same. I've got header wrap on in between these two pipes, help the heat transfer, and then the bellows. And what you may see right here is I've already started running some intercooler piping, because today I've got to figure out, I think I'm just going to put the intercooler right there and use some of these mounting points or holes in the radiator core support to support the intercooler, and then like this pipe right here, I'm gonna have to modify. I'll have to cut this and turn this pipe. So, but I've got to put the front end on to figure out where. So like the lights, there's a light bracket that goes right here. So I've got to get the front end to make sure that that I'm designing it correctly. So it's, again, this is going to be an off and on, off and on, off and on thing. So I'm not going to go through all that gyration. I think you've seen enough of that in some of the other videos. We're just going to move into the progress piece of the build. I've got the one thing I've got to figure out, and it's you know, I think this is yeah, this is the 2.5 inch pipe. I've got to get a 3-inch pipe through here. So I've got some work to do. Anyway, so the other piece, I'll show you some more progress here. Let me get this set down so it doesn't fall over. So here's the Legos, right? So we've got the blow-off valves, right? So those guys, like this one right here, is going to go probably, you know, right there, like that. So we're gonna work that game, and then I've already done. This is the passenger side pipe, and the driver's side looks an awful lot like this one. This one I actually made just a little bit longer, so it actually goes all the way, basically down to where the remote dumps are going to go right before the cat. And then, you know, this pipe's got several bends in it, obviously. I did have to dimple the pipe right here. I just wanted some extra space. But that's it, and it does go in all as one piece. So I'll throw all that in, get a picture or a video of all that so you can see it all in. And then supposed to get some pretty important parts today, I think, from Factory 5. I think they're the springs. So that means the shocks can go all in, and we need to focus on getting the lower control arms and everything in, upper control arms into the truck, so we can actually put this thing down on the ground and make it into a roller, because we're quickly approaching first start. The other thing I need to do is mentioned in another video, I need to get the direct injector O-rings all changed out. I finally got the full set from Ford. I only had 4 before, so I've got 8 now. I'll pull that off, then the intake can go in for good. I got to vacuum out all, you know, the oil galley and all of that. And I think that's about it. I mean, that's a lot, but that's what we'll be doing for the next you know, few hours anyway. I'll post a few more updates now that we're moving beyond just hot pipe. So stand by, and let's get this thing done. All right, folks. So still moving along this weekend, and got quite a bit done. So let's take a look. I was going to do the intercooler. I still might do it, but you know, things happened, and I got a shipment from Factory 5 with some springs, and we've been waiting on the front springs so we can start looking to put the truck on the ground. So let me show you what we did instead. So basically, we've got the entire front end all together. The driver's side is basically complete. I just have to put the cotter keys in, and then I have to
finished greasing everything. I'm having a problem with my grease gun, so I've got to go get a different one. But basically everything that you see in red comes from Factory 5, and to include the axle. I didn't paint that red, but the idea is that you should be able to take a look at the entire truck and then see everything that's in red, and that should answer your questions. And then you've got this really nice Fox shock with the remote reservoir up here. Hopefully you can see that. And then I've got both turbos in, and I'm working the oil supply right now. I had to pull the alternator. What comes with the kit, this is a M12 1.5 O-ring fitting, so that ends up being a little bit of a contraption to get out of here, and then still be able to service it later with the truck together if I need to change the sensor, or if I need to do an oil pressure check or something. So I'm going to end up running a line out probably to the front of the truck over here, and then run a T, remote locate the pressure sensor so it's out here, and then I'll do the supply to the turbos. I've got the wastegates in both sides. They're wrapped. I've definitely got movement in here, even though it's hard mounted, and I think we talked about this already. I've got 2 isolation mounts right here, and then a T-bolt clamp here. Thanks to Hot Rod Brothers for that suggestion. Yeah, all in all, this side has to come back off. I messed up, and I've got too much space between the bushing and the frame right here. I have to go take the lower control arms back off and remedy that. Shouldn't be a big deal. That's probably a next weekend thing. There's the bellows on this side, and then Fox shock and the remote reservoir. I'm not sure that's where they're going to end up, but that's kind of where they're hanging right now. So all in all, making pretty good progress. See, give you a nice good look at the truck here. So it's really starting to move along pretty quick now. I bought some new rotors for the front, since these have seen better days. This one got caught in the rain and it's all rusted. I know that would all come off, but it's got 140,000 miles on it, so why not? I have started the intercooler piping. I'm not quite sure if that's the final resting place for it, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to slice this and pull it out. But I need to get the intercooler mounted to that. So I may at least do that this weekend. Not sure yet. I've got to. I'm going to go get some caliper paint the calipers, and then clean up. Been working pretty hard on that front end, getting all the bushings and grease and all that stuff, trying to lock this thing down, at least get all the brakes done, and then move towards the back of the truck. I got one more set of springs coming. Once that happens, we'll set the whole truck on the ground, and then we can kind of move it. I'm not ready to start it yet. I've still got to prime the motor and everything, but I still got to change out the high pressure injector O-rings. I think we'll do that this week during the work week, while not a lot of stuff's going on, and then start looking to do the intercooler, and then hopefully prime the motor this week or next. I gotta get fluids back in it, as far as all the transmission, rear end, and transfer case, and front diff. All that stuff needs fluid. Yeah, and I think that's about it for right now. Oh, I did get. Hold on. Let me turn this around real quick. Stand by. Okay. I got these. Sorry. Green Cat Cook cats. So these are 3-inch diameter, and they're good to 850 horsepower a piece. So we're definitely staying green, and we'll be putting cats in the truck. So that'll be good. But for the track, I did get remote dumps to bypass everything at the track. So, and on the dyno. So I think for the dyno we'll be running open, and then to get that 1,000. Haven't decided yet, and then we'll put the green cats. This is a pretty neat little piece. It's not really big. It's pretty surprised how small it is. Apparently it flows pretty good. Palm Beach Dyno said that they've had a few of these on the dyno going through the cats well over 1,000 horsepower. I think a couple of the GT500s, I think they're running those with aftermarket, so should work pretty good for my my little truck. Anyway, thanks. Sorry for not posting every day, but really just been working on the pipes and getting the hot pipes up, and that doesn't make for very interesting content. I mean, if you look at the pipes, I mean, that was, you know, days of, you know, three hours maybe of cut, fit, nope, throw away a pipe, do it again, and then coat everything. You know, same with this side. You can see I've got the O2 sensors. I don't know if you can see it back there. There's O2 sensor there, and we got the O2 sensor there, and there's plenty of room. I've got everything wrapped nice, so yep, pretty happy all the way around. If you think I should be posting more frequent, let me know. Doesn't look like there was been a lot of traffic on the channel. I think everybody was kind of bored with watching me do the pipes. Interesting for me. It was a lot of fun. Don't want to do it again, I guess. But yeah, so one more time. There's the front end, and we get some discs coming, so we'll get the other one buttoned up, pulled and buttoned. Like I said, I still got to torque everything down. But anyway, stay tuned. Thanks for all the likes, subscribes, all the comments. That's great. Keep them coming. More interest, the better. We're slowly coming up on 1,000. I think we're about 300 shy. Maybe we can make 1,000 by the end of the build. That would be really awesome. Anyway, stay tuned. It should be moving fast now that all the exhaust is finally done. So, see you soon.